Good evening and welcome back to Nick Patterson Field, where you are watching a Rochester Youth League baseball game. We are watching Smith, Sawyer Smith, and First Federal Savings Bank play against one another in this evening. This is RTC TV 4 with Kagan Slocum and BJ Barnes. Right now we see First Federal Savings Bank in the outfield. Nothing particularly interesting is happening yet, so we'll probably be back to you once the game starts going. Also, we do not have the lineup for this game, so we will be calling the players by their numbers. If you would like to send us a lineup, please do so. Hello, and we're back. This is RTC TV4 with Kagan Slocum and BJ Barnes. We see the batter for Smith take the plate. It seems to be number 4. And with that, he is struck out, bringing the first out of the night. Little close for comfort. Ball 1. Swing and a miss. This is number 10 for Smith batting. Count is 2-1. Pitch just seemed a bit behind him. We have a full count. And with that, number 10 takes the plate. We see number 3 at bat. Nice hit. He was able to find the gap between second and third. Number 10 was unable to get to second in time, giving Smith their second out. Number 11. Nice hit, just seemed to go past the foul line and out of camera sight. Strike 1.
And looks like we have found the roster for First Federal, but not Smith, so I'll read that out to you real quick. At number 2, Jackson. Number 7, Oliver. Number 6, Holloway. Number 9, Jackson. Number 13, Distona. Number 5, Flory. Number 10, Wilburn. Number 4, Crom. Number 3, Brown. And number 11, Smith.
Strike 3. And with that, Smith gets all 3 of their outs, going into the bottom of the second. We'll be back after a brief commercial break. This is RTC TV4 with BJ Barnes and Kagan Slocum.
This broadcast brought to you in part by these local sponsors. Enjoy the game with an ice-cold Coke. Locally owned and operated since 1907, Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Kokomo proudly supports 28 high schools in north central Indiana. Our starting lineup of brands are sure to keep you hydrated on the sidelines and at home. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Kokomo. RTC TV4 thanks you for watching tonight's broadcast. Sponsorship and advertising opportunities are available, and free production is included with every sponsorship package. If you are seeing this, then your customers are seeing it too. RTC TV4. See for yourself. Please support the local sponsors who make this production possible.
Good evening and welcome back to Nick Patterson Field, where you're watching the Rochester Youth League baseball game with Smith and First Federal Savings Bank. First Federal, when they took the mound, they were able to shut down Smith-Sawyer-Smith. Clean strikeouts and one out from second base. Smith-Sawyer-Smith was just unable to connect with the ball. They were able to see the strike zone. They were just unable to reiterate, connect with it. They had good eye, just unfortunate luck.
Score is still 0-0 as we head into the bottom of the first.
We see Smith-Sawyer-Smith take the mound.
So what do you think of the finals last night? Toronto winning it all?
I don't know. I mean, I don't watch the NBA that often, so I guess I'm bandwagon for Curry. But since it was their first championship, I guess I rooted for them, like, innately.
I just thought it was nice to see someone else win besides Golden State, you know?
That in Cleveland. My dad, however, is a big Pacers fan, so every time the Pacers do not advance, he gets sad. He's always loyal to Indiana.
Looks like First Federal will be up to bat right now. And it will be number 2, Jackson. Looks like the umpire's having a few words with the catcher. And sweeping off home plate.
Jackson takes the plate.
Looks like that'll be ball number 1.
Swing and a miss. Strike 1.
In the dirt for that one. That'll be ball 2. Count is now 2-1.
Too high even for the catcher.
With that strike, we'll have a full count.
And it seems that Jackson has struck out, giving First Federal their first out. This is number 7, Oliver at... Nope. This is number 4, Crom at bat. My lineup's just a bit misconstrued.
Looks like that'll be strike number 1 for Crom. A little high there.
Nearly hit him, I saw that. Or I guess it hit him. He makes it to first. Strike 1. This is 3, Brown at the bat.
Number 4, Crom will take second. A little high there. Looks like Crom will also take third.
And he's safe.
Count is now 2-1. 1 out. Strike number 2 there. Count is now 2-2 for number 3 Brown at First Federal. Strike number 3 for Brown. That'll give First Federal their second out. Bringing up number 5 Flory to bat. Actually, that might be Jackson.
Nice hit,
It is Jackson.
but it was foul. Catcher has a good eye.
Game looks to be pretty even right now. First Federal just giving a little more pressure as number 4 Crom rounds second and third, stealing both bases.
The catcher for Smith Sawyer Smith is number 4. And the pitcher for Smith Sawyer Smith is number 3. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
Makes the count 2-2 with 2 outs. A little high into the left there. I believe that's ball number 3. We now have a full count with 2 outs. With that last ball, Jackson will take first. First Federal now has runners in the corners. Looks like he'll slide for second as well.
And Crom's gonna try to go home.
First Federal now leads 1-0.
This is number 12 for First Federal. Nice ball right in the middle of the strike zone.
Count is now 1-2. First Federal still doing an amazing job of stealing bases, you know, really putting pressure on that pitcher.
I saw Rochester do that the last game I did with Wawasee. They were able to just steal like crazy. Wawasee ended up picking up that habit after them and closing that gap between them in that last game. It was very interesting to watch. Nice little curveball there. Brings them the third out and closes the inning. We'll be back at the top of the second after a brief respite and a message from one of our sponsors. This is RTC TV4 with Kegan Slocum and BJ Barnes.
At Co-Alliance, we understand the importance of community. After all, we've been farmer-owned since the 1920s. And now that we're a part of your community, we want to become your total agronomy solutions provider. Co-Alliance offers the latest in ag technology for your operation. From field scouting and fertilizers to premium seed and precision agriculture, we can help take your operation to the next level. Put the resources of your local cooperative to work. Contact Co-Alliance today.
Good evening and welcome back to Nick Patterson Field, where you're watching a Rochester Youth League baseball game against Smith Sawyer Smith and First Federal Savings Bank. The score right now is 1-0. First Federal has 1 run. Smith Sawyer Smith has nothing. This is RTC TV4 with Kagan Slocum and BJ Barnes giving you the coverage.
It's pretty interesting to see both teams seem to be pretty well matched for each other as we go into the top of the second. Yeah, the only reason why First Federal's leading is they're just being a little bit more aggressive at stealing bases. That's really the only factor that sets them apart from Smith Sawyer.
I'd also say they're a little stronger when it comes to hitting than Smith Sawyer Smith is. They were able to find the ball and connect with it more than Smith Sawyer Smith was able to. And I guess both pitchers, they're nearly equaled and matched. I see that the Smith Sawyer Smith pitcher is, when he tends to stray away from the strike zone more than the First Federal one does. But when they both find it, it's a good pitch and it's solid.
Smith Sawyer will take bat. Couldn't quite get the number on him. Looks like number 12 of Smith Sawyer will make contact at third base and he'll settle for first.
Nice ball along the foul line.
Number 2 of Smith Sawyer Smith will take bat. That'll be strike 1. Strike number 2 there. Count is now 0-2.
We see number 12 steal second.
Ball number 1 there. Count is now 1-2. Number 2 of Smith Sawyer will make contact.
Pop fly just seemed to be right outside the foul line.
Count still remains 1-2. Number 2 will make contact.
I think they tagged out number 12.
I believe they did too. Number 2 will be safe at first though.
It's a nice ball. It seemed like the ball clung onto the bat for a little bit before it let go. Nearly hit him.
Ball number 1 there. Count is now 1-0. Strike number 1 there. Count is now 1-1 for number 7 of Smith Sawyer.
Nearly hit him again, giving him the second ball. Or did it hit him?
Looks like that it might have. Number 9 of Smith Sawyer will come to bat. At least it appears that way for right now. Number 2 of Smith Sawyer will make his way back to first base.
I think the fall just hurt him more than the ball did. I think he didn't get hit by the ball.
Yeah, initially I thought it might have went off his bat.
That's what I thought. Guess he doesn't have the best luck today with getting hit nearly by 2 balls in a row.
Yeah, I think he might have just landed awkwardly. It didn't look like the pitch hit him. Looks like number 7 will make his way to first base, giving Smith Sawyer runners on first and second. I believe number 9 of Smith Sawyer will take that. Ball number 1 there. Strike number 1 there. Count is now 1-1.
Nice ball in the middle of the strike zone.
Strike number 2. That makes it count 1-2 with 1 out for Smith Sawyer Smith. Looks to be a little low and to the right.
And he is safe.
At third, Smith Sawyer Smith now has runners on second and third. Count is now 2-2 with that last ball. Ball number 3 there. We now have a full count.
And with that, number 9 struck out, giving them their second out.
Number 4 of Smith Sawyer will take bat. Ball number 1 there appeared to be a little high. Ball 2 there. Count is now 2-0. Another ball there.
The ball seems to have a taking for the players rather than their bats.
You see that a lot in 10U. Strike 1 there. Count is now 3-1. First strike for number 4 of Smith Sawyer. Another ball there for number 8. And with that, number 8 will strike out, giving Smith Sawyer Smith their third out. The score still remains 1-0, First Federal Savings Bank leading.
And we'll be back after a brief commercial break and a message from one of our sponsors. This is RTC TV4 with Kegan Slocum and BJ Barnes.
RTC cable subscribers. Now you can watch your favorite cable networks wherever you are, on your phone, tablet, or computer. Just log on to www.watchtveverywhere.com. Enter your RTC account information and sign up to watch TV everywhere. Live sports, videos on demand, and more, all for free with your RTC cable subscription. Watch TV everywhere. Another great service from RTC.
Good evening and welcome back to Nick Patterson Field, where you are watching Rochester Youth League baseball game with Smith Flower Smith and First Federal Savings Bank. That's a tongue twister. This is RTC TV4 with Kegan Slocum and BJ Barnes giving you the coverage. And not much has happened in that last part of the inning. Just strikeouts, some balls, and some people taking the base. But overall, not very eventful, but we hope that it'll pick up soon.
Yeah, Smith doing a way better job at getting people on base and stealing a couple at that. You know, taking advantage of those balls thrown by the First Federal pitcher. Looks like we'll see number 5, Flory, First Federal take base, or take bat rather. That'll be strike number 1 for Flory at First Federal.
Good swing, just unable to connect.
Foul ball right there for Flory. That'll be strike number 2. Ball number 1 there for Flory. Count is now 1-2. A little low into the right there. Another ball there. Quickly makes the count 2-2. That last ball, Flory ducks. We now have a full count. Number 5, Flory will strike out, giving First Federal their first out of the bottom of the second inning. I believe number 10, Wilburn, is at bat. Foul ball there for Wilburn. That'll be strike number 1. Count is still 0-1. Ball there. Count is now 1-1. Low and at his feet there. Count is 2-1 for Wilburn. Looks to be a little close to Wilburn again. Count is now 3-1 with that last ball. That last ball, Wilburn will take first base. Catcher appearing to eye Wilburn right there, almost daring him to take second base.
We have number 7 Oliver take the plate.
Strike there for Oliver. Count is now 0-1.
A little lofty there.
Count is now 1-1 with 1 out for for First Federal. Strike 2 there. Count is now 1-2. Strike there again for number 7 Oliver, giving First Federal their second out. Still only 1 runner on base. Strike 1 there. Count is now 0-1. Strike 2 there. Count is now 0-2.
See the pitcher threaten the first base runner just a little bit.
Yep, he did hit number 13 Distona, First Federal, on the head. And he will take base there.
That had to not have felt good.
Almost well, it is a missed opportunity there by the pitcher. With 2 strikes, he had a lot of cushion with those balls. I think he let that pitch just stray from him a little bit.
It seems to be a common trait with both of the pitchers. They both seem to lean toward the pitchers when they're throwing. Their arms just... And that's how the direction of the ball keeps going towards them. At least to the righties. You don't know with the lefties.
Strike 1 there. I believe that was strike 2. And this is number 11, Smith of First Federal at bat. Ball 1 there for Smith. Count is now 1-2. Another ball there.
And we see Distona steal second. Wilburn take third.
They both remain safe. Count is 2-2. Strikeout there for number 11, Smith of First Federal. They failed to convert any of those runners to runs. They still lead 1-0 over Smith Sawyer Smith. You're watching RTC TV4 with Kagan Slocum and BJ Barnes.
First Federal Savings Bank has provided mortgage loans for over 50 years.
We're now offering commercial loans to support our local businesses.
We offer business loans for real estate, equipment, lines of credit, and investments. We also offer Simply Free business checking for all your banking needs.
Contact Lindy Breeden, our business lending expert, to take the worry out of your business banking.
And remember, we don't want to be the biggest bank, just the best bank.
Good evening and welcome back to Nick Patterson Field, where you are watching the Rochester Youth League with Smith Sawyer Smith and First Federal Savings Bank play against each other in this baseball game tonight. Right now I watch First Federal Savings Bank, I guess I can call them First Federal, it's quite a long name, take the mound. This is RTC TV4 with Kagan Slocum and BJ Barnes giving you the coverage.
It appears the game has been really just a defensive standoff so far. First Federal barely managing to get one runner to home plate in the first inning, and it's been pretty quiet for both teams after that.
Yeah, they both seem to, they both share the same aspects of this game. They're both able to stop them when they're batting.
Looks like number 5 of Smith Sawyer Smith was called back to the dugout.
And even then, when they are on the plate, they're able to find the ball, but when they swing, they're just missing it and they're striking out.
Yeah, just a lot of balls, a lot of walks too, but just unable to convert those into runs. Number 5 of Smith Sawyer takes bat.
There was a bug on the camera.
Strike 1 there. Count is now 0-1. Out to the right there. That'll be ball number 1, making the count 1-1. Ball number 2 there. Count is 2-1. High and to the left.
Yeah, just above his head.
Count is 3-1. Number 5 of Smith Sawyer will take first base.
It's a tongue twister, isn't it?
Yeah.
What was it? I can't remember the team. I think I did Smith Sawyer Smith this week, and I just cannot say it. I
Yeah.
kept saying Sith.
Both of them, Smith Sawyer Smith and First Federal,
Yeah.
right there. Bit of alliteration.
Nice use of an English device. And it seems that First Federal is conferencing with one another, for lack of a better word.
Number 6 of Smith Sawyer having a bit of a conversation with his coach there. Number 6 of Smith Sawyer steps up. Right down the middle there, that'll be strike number 1. Strike 2 there. Count is now 0-2.
I think he got hit.
Is he out there? Or no?
Just a little advice from the first base coach.
Smith Sawyer also took second in that commotion.
And with that, 6 strikes out.
That'll give Smith Sawyer Smith their first out of the inning. High and to the right there. That'll be ball number 1.
This is number 4 restarting the lineup. On deck is number 10, and in the hole is number 3.
Ball number 2 there. Count is now 2-0 for number 4 of Smith Sawyer Smith.
It seemed to hit his arm. For a second, I thought it hit his gut. I was about to empathize for him there.
Number 4 of Smith Sawyer with that last ball. I think it hit him in the right arm. He'll take first base. They now have runners on first and second.
Number 10 is taking the plate. On deck is number 3. In the hole is number 11.
High into the left there by number 10's head. That'll be ball number 1, making the count 1-0. Strike 1 there. Count is now 1-1. Foul ball there for number 10. That'll make way for strike number 2. Count is now 1-2. Strike number 3 there for number 10 of Smith Sawyer.
Nice strike.
That'll be 2 outs for Smith Sawyer. They still have runners on first and second.
This is number 3.
Number 3 ducks. That'll be ball number 1. Count is 1-0. Ball number 2 there. Count is 2-0. Number 3 will make contact over to first base.
It seemed that the first baseman caught the foul, giving him the 3rd out.
That'll be Smith Sawyer Smith. Like you said, 3rd out, and that will close out the top of the 3rd. First Federal still leads over Smith Sawyer 1-0.
You're watching RTC TV4 with Kagan Slocum and BJ Barnes. We'll be back after a brief message from one of our sponsors.
Smith Farm Stores has everything you need for your home and your farm, both inside and out. We are your local Steel, Skag, and Simplicity dealer, offering a full-service center with a certified technician on site. Smith Farm Stores offers a wide variety of household appliances, including top-brand refrigerators, washing machines, and dryers. We are also a full-service paint center, offering on-site color matching and more. Stop by today or check us out online. Smith Farm Stores, everything you need and more.
Good evening and welcome back to Nick Patterson Field, where you are watching the Rochester Youth League baseball game with Smith Sawyer Smith and First Federal Savings Bank. This is RTC TV4 with Kagan Slocum and BJ Barnes giving you the coverage. It's a lot of words to memorize. A lot of tongue twisters. Number 2 is going to take the plate for First Federal.
Still a pretty uneventful last couple innings there. First Federal making its first run in the bottom of the 1st inning. Not much has happened since.
No. Both pitchers seem to have the same technique. They seem to, when they pitch, they seem to give balls away. They always go high to the left, high to the right. A lot of them tend to hit the batters. It seems like it's an off day for both of them. This is number 2, Jackson. On deck will be number 4, Crom, and in the hole is number 3, Brown.
Number 2 Jackson will step up to the plate. Almost hit Jackson there. That'll be ball number 1. Ball number 2 there. Count is 2-0. Jackson makes contact. Appears to be a foul ball. That'll make the count 2-1.
Nice little grounder hit.
Easy out there for Smith Sawyer.
Yeah, was just unable to get there in time.
That is First Federal's first out.
We have number 4 Crom at base at the plate. Number 3 Brown is on deck. Number 8 Jackson. Number 9 Jackson is in the hole.
Ball number 1 there for Crom. Count is 1-0. Ball 2 there, high and to the left. That is a 2-0 count for Crom. Ball 3 there, count is 3-0. Strike 1 there for Crom at First Federal. Count is now 3-1.
With that, Crom walks. This is number 3 Brown at the plate. Number 9 Jackson is up next, and number 5 Flory is in the hole.
High and to the left there by Brown's head. It'll be ball number 1. As we see Jackson steal second. Oh, that wasn't Jackson, was it? It was
Crom.
Crom, that's right. Foul ball there. Count is 1-1. Another ball there. Count is 2-1 for Brown. That ball appears to have hit Brown in the back. A little painful to watch there, but he'll eventually make his way to first base.
Or he'll have a runner sub in for him if it's too much.
Man, it seems like that has been like the
Third one. That was in the middle of the back, right between the shoulder blades, too.
Yeah. Might have knocked the wind out of him, too. It looked very painful.
Yeah. And he makes it to first.
First Federal now has runners on first and second base. This will be number 9 Jackson stepping up to the plate. Still only 1 out for First Federal.
Nice. Flory is up next, number 5 Flory.
It'd be interesting to see if First Federal can get, Jackson on base, make the bases loaded, and see what Flory can do if they can get a couple more runs in.
Yeah, if they're able to. Well, I guess you said it, get more runs in.
Seems like both teams, they aren't really having a too difficult time, getting runners on base. They just can't convert them or, find their way home.
Yeah, it seems like there's like a third base curse. Every time you reach third base, that's when you get your second and third out.
Ball number 1 there for Jackson.
Brown steals second. And Crom is safe at third.
Low and to the right there by Jackson's feet. That'll be ball number 2. Count is 2-0. Jackson makes contact outside of the field of play. That'll be a foul ball there.
Nice hit.
Count is 2-1 for Jackson.
And it seems like a trend for both teams when they're at bat. It's either they strike out or they foul. I don't think a lot of basement actions happened. I spoke too soon.
That'll be an easy out for Sawyer-Smith at first base there. But with that, they also give up a run. First Federal now leads 2-0. Number 12 for First Federal will be a bat.
I think there was a pitching change.
Yeah, it could have been.
I think so, because number 3 is a pitcher, now he's the first baseman.
Speaking of, the finals earlier, we already discussed that. Toronto won. How do you feel about the Blues winning it over Boston?
I haven't kept up with the NHL since the Blackhawks won, which was like 6 years ago. And I guess I was sort of rooting for the Bruins, so I just chose a name from the bucket. But I'm happy either way. Blues didn't win a championship before either, I guess.
First one in franchise history.
How long has the franchise been around?
Oh, don't ask me that.
Okay.
I have no clue.
Yeah. It's always nice to see like the first championships. I can't remember. There was one, was it the Astros?
Yeah, Astros had one 2 years ago. First win in franchise history.
Yeah, and then I loved when the Cubs won the World Series, even though that was like a 110-year streak.
Yeah. Or drought.
Yeah, I love the Cubs. My brother hates it because, bandwagon, and I love it because bandwagon.
Strike number 1 there for 12 of First Federal. Ball number 1 there. First Federal slide home.
He is safe.
First Federal now leads 3-0. Count is 1-1. 12 ducks there. That'll be ball number 2. Count is now 2-1. Number 12 ducks again there. Count is now 3-1. That'll be strike number 2 for First Federal, number 12, giving way for a full count. That last ball, number 12 will take first base. This will be number 5, Flory, at bat.
On deck is number 10, Wilburn. In the hole is number 7, Oliver.
Strike 1 there for Flory. Ball 1 there. Count is now 1-1.
Number 12 still second.
Right down the middle there for Flory. Count is now 1-2.
Yeah, my favorite kind of strikes are always curveballs. And every time I see them, because they can be like the sickest things.
Oh yeah, especially when you get to the pros.
Oh yeah, I love watching curveballs. Or in Wii Sports too, I guess.
Wii Sports.
I love Wii Sports. And with that is the third out, transitioning us into the top of the 4th inning. We'll be back after a brief message from one of our sponsors. This is RTC TV4 with Kagan Slocum and BJ Barnes.
At Co-Alliance, we understand the importance of community. After all, we've been farmer-owned since the 1920s. And now that we're a part of your community, we want to become your total agronomy solutions provider. Co-Alliance offers the latest in ag technology for your operation. From field scouting and fertilizers to premium seed and precision agriculture, we can help take your operation to the next level. Put the resources of your local cooperative to work. Contact Co-Alliance today.
Good evening and welcome back to Nick Patterson Field, where you're watching the Rochester Youth League with Smith Sawyer Smith and First Federal Savings Bank play against each other in this nice evening. Right now, First Federal Savings Bank leads with 3 runs, and Smith Sawyer Smith has 0. We'll see if they can tie up that deficit as they take the plate.
Yeah, Smith Sawyer Smith not doing a bad job on defense. Just seems like they're struggling in the offensive department a little bit.
And this seems to be a pitcher-led game too. Not a lot of action from the outfielders, the shortstops. Not a lot of diamond work.
Not at all. Number 11 for Smith Sawyer Smith will take bat.
I was trying to figure out what number he was. In the hole, well, on deck is number 12, and in the hole is number 2 for Smith Sawyer Smith.
So, did you do anything eventful this last week?
Besides commentate games, not really.
It's been a while since you and I were together, right?
Yeah, it was like last Friday. It's been a week.
Yeah, I actually had track awards right now for last season.
Oh, so do I.
But yeah, I missed them, so I could work.
Yeah, they're like 2 miles from my house, and they're having a cookout, and I'm like, oh, I haven't eaten anything normal in weeks.
Yeah.
But I'm a manager, so I guess I don't really need to go. Like last year, I didn't even get recognition. My coach totally forgot about it, and I was like, bro.
Oh man, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really care, and I was there for the food.
Yeah.
We see number 11 take the plate.
Looks like that'll be low in the dirt to the right. It'll be ball number 1 for 11 of Smith Sawyer.
Nice hit. Found the gap between second and shortstop. And he'll stay at first. Up next is number 12 for Smith Sawyer Smith. I know, I can't say it now. I've said it way too many times. My soccer coach in junior high, he always told us, he was like, if you could say toy boat 3 times fast, you don't have to run for the rest of the season.
Wow, yeah, that's never gonna happen.
Yeah, I tried so hard. I did not want to run in 6th grade.
Number 11 will take second base with that last ball low and to the right there. Count is 1-0.
But I can do the woodchuck tongue twister better than anything else.
Ball number 2 there is number 11 takes third. Count is 2-0.
He's just making his way across the diamond.
Looking to get his team back in the mix here. Strike number 1 there for number 12 of Smith Sawyer Smith. Count is 2-1. Ball 3 there. Count is 3-1 for number 12. Ball 4 there is number 12 will take first base. Smith Sawyer Smith now has runners in the corners.
Number 2 is up for Smith Sawyer Smith. On deck is number 7, and in the hole is number 9. Smith Sawyer Smith.
Appears to be ball number 1 there. Count is 1-0. Makes contact, but in the wrong direction. Count is now 1-1. Low and in the dirt there. Number 12 will take second base for Smith Sawyer. Count is 2-1 for number 2 of Smith Sawyer. Strike 2 there for number 2. Count is 2-2. Another ball there. We now have a full count for number 2 of Smith Sawyer. Smith Sawyer also has runners on second and third.
If he's able to hit the ball, they'll have bases full.
Or get a walk at least. Looks like he'll strike out instead. That'll be Smith Sawyer Smith's first out of the inning.
Can't remember who batted last, but I believe this is number 2 at the plate.
Number 2 was last at bat. He just struck out.
Okay, the number 7's at the plate. I do not have the best attention span.
Ball right there. High and to the left there by number 7 is Smith Sawyer Smith. Another ball there. Number 7 will take base of Smith Sawyer Smith. They now have the bases fully loaded.
That means number 9 is up to bat. If he even gets to first, I'll give Smith Sawyer Smith their first run.
Strike number 1 there. Count is 0-1.
They only have 1 out too, so they can use this as a cushion.
Strike 2 there. Pitcher seems to be on a little bit of a hot streak. Wow, struck him out.
I know.
3 strikes in a row there. That'll give Smith Sawyer Smith their second out.
Up comes number 8 for Smith Sawyer Smith. On deck is number 5, in the hole is number 6.
Looks like that was a little high to be in the strike zone. That'll be ball number 1, making the count 1-0 for number 8 of Smith Sawyer Smith. Strike 1 there. Count is now 1-1. Strike 2 there. Pitcher of First Federal is showing great composure right now with the bases fully loaded, not cracking under pressure. Count is 1-2 for number 8 of Smith Sawyer.
It seems that he has no problem finding the strike zone now as the game's progressed.
Catcher makes his way out to third base. Count is 2-2. Strike 3 there. Excellent job by the pitcher closing out the inning there, not allowing any scores. First Federal still leads 3-0 over Smith Sawyer Smith as we head into the bottom of the 4th inning.
We'll be back after a brief message from one of our sponsors. This is RTC TV4 with Kegan Slocum and BJ Barnes.
RTC cable subscribers. Now you can watch your favorite cable networks wherever you are, on your phone, tablet, or computer. Just log on to www.watchtveverywhere.com. Enter your RTC account information and sign up to watch TV everywhere. Live sports, videos on demand, and more, all for free with your RTC cable subscription. Watch TV everywhere. Another great service from RTC.
Good evening and welcome back to Nick Patterson Field, where you are watching the Rochester Youth League with Smith Sawyer Smith and First Federal Savings Banks play against each other in this baseball game. Right now the score is 3-0, with First Federal having 3 runs, Smith Sawyer Smith having no runs.
As we last saw, the pitcher of First Federal showed great composure as the bases were fully loaded for Smith Sawyer Smith, and he did not allow any runs on his part.
I mean, you know, as they say, diamonds form under pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Diamond. Baseball diamond. I just got...
I got it.
Thank you. Yep. First Federal seems to be stronger in both categories when it comes to this game. For Smith Sawyer Smith, they seem to always, their balls seem to lean towards the player when they pitch, and then they're just unable to find that that way to make it back home.
We're seeing First Federal kind of make their, get into their groove sort of right now, especially on the pitcher's part, striking out 2 at bats, back to back right there. So great job on his part.
Yeah, the scoreboard may not say it, but this is a First Federal dominant game.
This will be number 10 Wilburn at bat for First Federal.
On deck is number 7 Oliver, and in the hole is number 13 Dystonia.
Wilburn steps up to the plate for First Federal. Strike 1 there for Wilburn.
Swing and a miss.
Count is 0-1. Low and to the right there. That'll be ball number 1. Count is 1-1. Makes contact outside the field of play. Foul ball there. Count is 1-2. Looks like he might have been trying to bunt it over to third base there. Didn't quite get the bounce he wanted.
Yeah, a lot of these balls that keep going across the foul line, if they were just on the right side, they would have been strong hits.
Wilburn steps back up to the plate. Low and to the right again. Ball number 2. 2-2 count. Pitcher winds up. And strike 3 there for Wilburn, giving First Federal their first out.
Up next is number 7 Oliver.
Strike 1 there for Oliver. Count is 0-1. Oliver steps back up to the plate. Pitcher winds up. Right down the middle there. Count is 0-2.
The catcher for Smith Sawyer Smith seems to be number 11.
High and to the left there by Oliver's head. Count is 1-2. Strike 3 there.
Seems both pitchers are able to find the strike zone a lot easier now.
And they should, it's 5th inning now.
This is number
13, I believe.
Dystonia.
It'll be ball number 1 for Dystonia. Strike 1 there for Dystonia. Count is 1-1. Another strike there for Destonia. Count is 1-2. 2 outs for First Federal. Strike 3 there. That'll close out the top of the 5th inning. No, bottom of the, what is it, 4th?
Yeah,
4th. My bad.
it was close enough. We'll be back after a brief message from one of our sponsors. This is RCC TV4 with Keggett Slocum and BJ Barnes.
At Co-Alliance, we understand the importance of community. After all, we've been farmer-owned since the 1920s. And now that we're a part of your community, we want to become your total agronomy solutions provider. Co-Alliance offers the latest in ag technology for your operation. From field scouting and fertilizers to premium seed and precision agriculture, we can help take your operation to the next level. Put the resources of your local cooperative to work. Contact Co-Alliance today.
Good evening and welcome back to Nick Patterson Field, where you are watching this Rochester Youth League baseball game with Smith Sawyer Smith and First Federal Savings Bank. I am having trouble saying both names. The score right now is 3-0. First Federal leads with 3 runs. Smith Sawyer Smith trails behind with 0. This is RTC TV4 with Keggett Slocum and BJ Barnes giving you the coverage.
Both pitchers seem to be finding their grooves here. Smith Sawyer Smith finally, getting their strikeouts when they need them. If they want to catch up at all, now's the time to do it. Pitcher had 3 strikeouts back-to-back last inning as we reached the top of the 5th.
It was a very impressive game for both pitchers. If I've said it once, I've said it maybe 12 times. This is more of a pitcher's game than anything else. The basemen have not received much action. It's just the pitcher and the catcher when it comes to the outfield. In the past few innings, Smith Sawyer Smith has been unlucky when it comes to batting. They're striking out, they hit those fouls, or in the off chance the baseman actually gets it before they do. But with this end of the game coming up towards the bottom of the 6th inning, we'll see if they'll be able to take that pressure as the pitchers have and be able to transform it into getting onto the home plate.
Yeah, if we even reach the bottom of the 6th inning, that is, with First Federal leading, they would be the ones at bat at the bottom of the 6th, so we might not.
That is true.
Trying to make out the number here for Smith Sawyer Smith. It looks like number 6.
I think so.
Ball number 1 there for number 6 of Smith Sawyer Smith. Count is now 1-0. Ball number 2 there, just a little outside of the strike zone. Count is 2-0. High and to the left there. Makes the count 3-0 very quickly.
Right behind number 6's head.
That last ball, number 5 of Smith Sawyer Smith will take base.
Next up, she'll be number 6 then. On deck is number 4 restarting the lineup, and in the hole is number 10.
Right down the middle there. That'll be number 6 of Smith Sawyer Smith. First strike, count is 0-1. A little high there. Count is 1-1. Pitcher winds up. Right down the middle again. Count is 1-2. Little to the left there. Makes the count 2-2 for number 6 of Smith Sawyer Smith. by number 6 again. We now have a full count.
Nearly hit his shoe. They're called cleats in baseball, right?
I believe so. That last ball, number 6 will take base. Smith Sawyer Smith still has 0 outs, and they have runners at first and second.
This is number 4 at bat. On deck is number 10, and in the hole is number 3.
I believe that was ball number 1 there. That should be ball number 2. Count is 2-0. Still 0 outs for Smith Sawyer Smith. A little close there for number 4 of Smith Sawyer Smith. Count is 3-0. Ball there. Strike 2 there. We now have a full count for number 4 of Smith Sawyer Smith. Pitcher seems to be ramping the game up a little bit. Number 4 will take base. Smith Sawyer Smith now has the bases fully loaded again, just as in the previous other inning.
Number 10 will take the plate. On deck is number 3, and in the hole is number 11.
We'll see if the pitcher for First RYL can work that magic again he did in the last inning, not allowing any runs when the bases were fully loaded.
Not even any hits or walks.
2 strikeouts back to back. Number 10 of Smith Sawyer will step up to plate. Low one in the dirt there. Will be ball number 1. Count is 1-0. Strike 1 there for number 10 of Smith Sawyer. Count is 1-1. Looks like that was just inside the strike zone. Count is 1-2 for number 10 of Smith Sawyer. Strike number 3 there for number 10 of Smith Sawyer. That'll be Smith Sawyer's first out.
Up next is number 3. On deck is number 11, and in the hole is number 12.
Strike 1 there for number 3 of Smith Sawyer. Count is 0-1. Another strike there by the pitcher. Count is 0-2.
That was nice. I didn't even think it was a strike for a second.
I know. It's a nice curveball there. Ball number 1 there. Count is 1-2.
He was just able to get it.
That'll be Smith Sawyer Smith, second out. They will score number 5 in the process right there, giving Smith Sawyer Smith their first run. First RYL still leads 3-1 though. Smith Sawyer Smith now has 2 outs.
This is number 11 at bat.
Smith Sawyer Smith still has runners on second and third. Strike number 1 there. Count is 0-1. Excellent job by the pitcher again. Ball number 1 there. Count is 1-1. High and to the left there. That'll be ball number 2. Count is 2-1 for Smith Sawyer Smith. High and to the left again there. Count is 3-1. With that last ball, number 11 will take base. Smith Sawyer Smith now occupies all 3 bases once again.
This is number 12 at bat. On deck is number 2, and in the hole is number 7. Number 7.
Looks like the First Federal coach talked to the pitcher. I think he swapped him out.
The second baseman?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he swapped him out.
Okay.
New pitcher for First Federal, still taking his warm-up throws. Or pitches, rather. It appears to be number 5, Flory of First Federal, as the pitcher.
Is this their third pitching change?
Could be. I think it is.
The last pitcher is doing quite well.
Mm-hmm.
I guess this is a closer, though.
Yeah. Ball number 1 there. Count is 1-0.
Swing and a miss. Strike 1.
Another ball there, low and to the right. Count is 2-1. High and to the right now. Count is 3-1. Low one in the dirt there. Smith Sawyer Smith will score once again as the bases remain fully loaded. Smith Sawyer Smith has really come back to rally now, only down by 1 score to First Federal.
Mm-hmm. If First Federal walks one more, the game's tied.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure that's racing through the pitcher's head right now.
Yeah. Nice hit.
Unable to make the catch, Smith Sawyer Smith will score once again. Looking to score again and take the lead, and they do. Smith Sawyer Smith now leads 4-3.
And he is safe.
Smith Sawyer Smith now has runners on second and third, and the lead.
How the tables have turned.
Smith Sawyer Smith still has 2 outs as number 5, Flory, winds up. Strike number 1 there. Count is 0-1. Right down the middle again for Flory. Count is 0-2. Let's see if he can get one more strike and finish off this inning. Ball number 1 there. Count is 1-2 for number 7 of Smith Sawyer Smith. Right there by number 7 of Smith Sawyer. That'll be ball number 2. Count is 2-2 with 2 outs. Strike number 3 there is 4 as number 5 Flory closes out the top of the 5th inning. Smith Sawyer Smith has come back and scored 4 runs at the top of that inning. They now lead 4-3 over First Federal.
We'll take a brief break after a message from one of our sponsors. This is RTC TV4 with Kagan Slocum and BJ Barnes.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by these local sponsors.
Enyards True Value and Rental is your local one-stop shop for all of your home improvement and party rental needs. Let our friendly and knowledgeable staff help you with your next project or event. Enyards True Value and Rental of Rochester. Stay connected with the fastest internet speeds available with RTC Fiber Communications. Voice, data, and video connectivity for the 21st century. Local service, local support, local investment. Online at rtc1.com.
Please support the local businesses that help us bring you this production.
Good evening and welcome back to Nick Patterson Field, where you are watching the Rochester Youth League with Smith Sawyer Smith and First Federal Savings Bank playing against one another in this baseball game. Right now the score is 4-3. Smith Sawyer Smith takes the lead after 5 innings of 0 points, and First Federal Savings Bank has 3 runs.
Excellent job there by Smith Sawyer Smith, rallying to score 4 runs in just 1 inning. Looks like that's all they needed to take the lead.
We'll see what First Federal can do at bat and if they're able to maintain that, I guess, lead they once had. I think what might have hurt First Federal most was taking that pitcher out.
Yeah. But Flory didn't do a terrible job at closing it out. He only gave up, like, what, a run, maybe 2?
Yeah, it was just an unfortunate timing. The pitcher was, previous pitcher was doing quite well with the strikes.
Smith Sawyer Smith in the outfield is number 11, Smith, at bat for First Federal. Steps up to the plate.
I guess he could say he should be playing for Smith Sawyer Smith.
Ball number 2 there. Count is now 2-0. Strike 1 there. Count is now 2-1 for number 11 Smith of First Federal. High and to the left there, that'll be ball number 3. Count is now 3-1 for number 11 Smith of First Federal. With that last strike, he will strike out. Number 11 Smith is struck out for First Federal. That'll give First Federal their first out.
After Smith is number 2, Jackson.
Low and in the right. Dirt right there. That'll be ball number 1. Count is 1-0. Swing and a miss there. Count is now 1-1. Ball number 2 there. Count is 2-1. Still 1 out for First Federal. Swing and a miss there. Brings the count to 2-2. Strike number 3 there for number 2 Jackson of First Federal. That'll be First Federal's second out. This will be number 4 Crom at bat.
On deck is number 3 Brown, and in the hole is number 9 Jackson.
Number 4 Crom of First Federal Ducks. That'll be ball number 1. Count is 1-0. I believe number 11 Smith Sawyer is pitching. Right down the middle there, brings the count to 1-1. Another swing and a miss there. Count is 1-2 for number 4 Crom of First Federal. That'll be a swing and a miss there. Not sure why he swung at that, but that'll be First Federal's third out. They're still down 4-3 to Smith Sawyer Smith.
And with that, closes out the bottom of the 5th inning, giving us into the top of the 6th. We'll be back after a brief respite and a message from one of our sponsors. This is RTC TV4 with Kegan Slocum and BJ Barnes.
RTC cable subscribers. Now you can watch your favorite cable networks wherever you are, on your phone, tablet, or computer. Just log on to www.watchtveverywhere.com. Enter your RTC account information and sign up to watch TV everywhere. Live sports, videos on demand, and more, all for free with your RTC cable subscription. Watch TV everywhere. Another great service from RTC.
Good evening and welcome back to Nick Patterson Field, where you are watching this Rochester Youth baseball game with Smith Sawyer Smith and First Federal Savings Bank. Right now, Smith Sawyer Smith leads with 4 runs and First Federal Savings Bank trails behind with 3 runs. As each inning happens, it gets harder to say. This is RTC TV4 with Kegan Slocum and BJ Barnes giving you the coverage.
Smith Sawyer Smith has really turned their game around. Scoring 4 runs in the last inning there.
The game started to become a little more eventful as time passed on, as Smith Sawyer Smith was able to slowly collect their act up together.
Second and third innings were pretty quiet, but we've finally at last reached the top of the 6th inning, so we'll see who will finally win this battle.
Number 9 for Smith Sawyer Smith is batting. On deck is number 8, and in the hole is number 5.
Credit to both pitchers too. They've both stepped up and been pretty crucial at times.
Yeah, when there's needed to be those last few outs, when there's men on base, they're able to deliver. And kudos to the Smith Sawyer Smith batting. They're able to finally find that sweet spot with them in the bat and the ball, and just able to finally connect and get it into the outfield and find those gaps.
Yeah, seems like the game's been widened down, and Smith Sawyer Smith has kind of picked up on that. And I don't know if it was coaching or just the players finally stepping up, but they finally all agreed that, hey, we got to step our game up if we're going to win this thing, and they've finally taken the lead.
And I know sometimes it takes a while into the game before you finally find your groove.
Yeah, who knows what's going through those kids' heads. It's a Friday, they're on summer break, you know.
Yeah. Number 9 takes the plate.
Number 5, Florida First Federal is the pitcher. He winds up. Outside and to the right there, that'll be ball number 1, making the count 1-0. Strike one there. Count is 1-1. Swing and a miss there. Count is now 1-2 for number 9 of Smith Sawyer Smith.
Seemed like an unlikely hit. He stepped back and then swung.
Swing and a miss there again by number 9 of Smith Sawyer Smith, giving Smith Sawyer Smith their first out. Great job by number 5 Flory of First Federal.
Next comes number 8 of Smith Sawyer Smith. You have to enunciate the last parts of their word names in order to say it right.
Yeah, slow it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Strike number 1 there. Count is 0-1. Strike number 2 there. Count is 0-2.
That was really high. I sort of don't understand how he...
Wanted to swing at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. High and to the right there. That'll be ball number 1, making the count 1-2 for number 8 of Smith Sawyer Smith. Swung at that again. That'll be the second out for Smith Sawyer Smith as number 8 heads back to the dugout.
After number 8 is number 5. On deck is number 6, and number 4 is in the hole, restarting the lineup.
Ball number 1 there. Count is 1-0. Flory winds up. Strike number 1 there. Count is 1-1.
That had an arch to it.
Strike number 2 there brings the count 1-2. Ball number 2 there. Count is now 2-2 with 2 outs for Sawyer Smith.
It's hard, isn't it?
Smith Sawyer, yeah. High and to the right there, we now have a full count. And number 5 of Smith Sawyer will take first base.
Up next is number 6.
Flory winds up. Looks like that'll be ball number 1, bringing the count 1-0. Still 2 outs for Smith Sawyer. Strike number 1 there. Count is 1-1. Strike number 2 there for Flory. That'll be 1-2 count. Strike number 3 there, and that'll be number 6's strikeout. And as we head into the bottom of the 6th inning to close out the game, we'll see if First Federal can reclaim their lead.
We'll be back after a brief message from one of our sponsors. This is RTC TV4 with Kagan Slocum and BJ Barnes.
First Federal Savings Bank has provided mortgage loans for over 50 years.
We're now offering commercial loans to support our local businesses.
We offer business loans for real estate, equipment, lines of credit, and investments. We also offer Simply Free business checking for all your banking needs.
Contact Lindy Breeden, our business lending expert, to take the worry out of your business banking.
And remember, we don't want to be the biggest bank, just the best bank.
Good evening and welcome back to Nick Patterson Field, where you are watching this Rochester Youth League with Smith Sawyer Smith and First Federal Savings Bank play against one another in this baseball game tonight. Right now the score is 4-3. Smith Sawyer Smith leads with 4 runs. First Federal Savings Bank trails behind with 3. We're going to see if they're going to be able to convert some hits into more runs and be able to tie it up or at least take the lead. This is RTC TV4 with Kagan Slocum and BJ Barnes giving you the coverage.
Great job by number 5, Flory, of First Federal pitching. Didn't allow any runs that last inning and giving his team, an opportunity to reclaim their lead they once had.
We'll see if Smith Sawyer Smith's pitcher is able to do the same thing that Flory was able to do. If not, keep their lead and end up with a win.
Entering the 5th inning, First Federal led 3-0, but as you can tell, Smith Sawyer Smith quickly converted their runners into runs, and they now lead 4-3.
Yeah, it's been an interesting last couple of innings.
It's really, the game's really, picked up its pace a little bit. Seems like we flew by the last 2 innings.
Yeah, the first 2 or 3 innings were actually quite slow. Nothing but walks and strikeouts.
We will see number 3, Brown, of First Federal, take the plate.
On deck is number 9, Jackson, and in the hole is number 5, Flory.
Number 3, Brown, steps up to the plate.
Whoa.
Brown makes contact around third base. And looks like he will be safe at first. Great job there.
And I sort of enjoyed the little skip he had when he batted.
Number 9, Jackson, will step up to the plate for First Federal.
On deck is number 5, Flory. In the hole is number 10, Wilburn.
Swing and a miss there. That'll be strike number 1. Brings the count to 0-1. Looks like number 3, Brown, will be safe at second. High and to the left there. Brings the count to 1-1 for Jackson. High and to the left again. 2-1 count for Jackson at First Federal. Jackson makes contact in between bases 2 and 3. Looks like the ball will fall.
And is Brown gonna make it home? And he does.
Will. Ties up the score here late in the bottom of the 6th inning. And Jackson will make his way to third base.
A nice RBI from Jackson.
Great job. Not choking under pressure, tying up the score here. Still 0 outs for First Federal. Number 12 of First Federal will make contact outside the field of play. Foul ball. Count is 0-1. Low and to the right there. It'll be ball number 1. Count is 1-1. Right down the middle there. That'll be strike number 2, making the count 1-2. Jackson still leading off third base. Number 12 of First Federal. Looks like that'll be ball number 2 there. Brings the count to 2-2. Still 0 outs for First Federal. Swing and a miss there for number 12 of First Federal, and that will be First Federal's first out.
Up next is number 10, Wilburn. On deck is number 7, Oliver, and number 13, Dystonia, is in the hole.
Looks like this might be number 5, Flory at bat.
I stand corrected.
Flory was also the pitcher in the last couple innings. High and to the right there, that'll be ball number 1. Count is 1-0. Jackson's really eager to get home and get his team the win. Strike number 1 there for Flory. Brings the count to 1-1.
They're lofty, but they trick you into thinking they're balls.
If Flory can somehow get a hit and turn it to an RBI, the game would be over. Swing and a miss there again by number 5, Flory of First Federal. Makes the count 1-2 with 1 out of First Federal. Strikeout there by number 5, Flory of First Federal. That's 2 outs for First Federal. Number 10, Wilburn, will step up to the plate.
On deck is number 7, Oliver. In the hole is number 13, Dystonia. We see the pitcher intimidate Brown.
Or Jackson, rather.
Yes.
Right down the middle there, that'll be strike number 1 for Wilburn. Brings the count 0-1. Looks like Jackson's going to make his way home and score for First Federal. And that'll be the game. Right there on a bobbled throw right there to the pitcher. First Federal comes back to win it from behind, overcoming a 4-run inning in the 5th inning by Smith Sawyer. Great way to end it for First Federal.
I know, it was an interesting game to watch. Well, thank you for all that came to watch it. We have, I think, one more game next week to watch. But we're signing out. This is RTC TV 4 with Kickin' Slocum and BJ Barnes. Have a good night.